Welcome everybody. It's been a bit of a long time. I've had a bit of a hiatus here on the Smac Talk podcast, but I finally figured out the Zoom, been bothered to look into it, and I haven't got a better excuse this week than having the Mr. Paraic Fearon, wonderfully motivating. He's out doing his thing for charity now, and I'm absolutely delighted to have him on. So thanks very much, Paraic, for coming on.
Thank you very much, man. Brilliant to be on. Very, very happy.
First of all, let's get into the elephant in the room. You're down in Australia. We're stuck here in Ireland. And our end of the woods, it hasn't been good. I think you got out at the right time. What's life been like down in Australia so far?
Well, no, I'll say this, but probably everyone will give me hate, but we've actually had a 5-day lockdown over here now, so it's been tough, Dodge. Yeah. No, we were on lockdown for about 8 months, so we were like from March until basically November there. Like it was a very, very strict lockdown where you couldn't go to people's houses. Basically the same lockdown you're having at the moment. Yeah. Besides like maybe 2 weeks in June we had off. So then we got out there in November, and since then, to be honest with you, it's been back to normal. Like everything open, restaurants, pubs open, gyms, everything out there opened. And obviously that came at the time of the good weather as well. Yeah. Because it's summer over here for that. So it's been unbelievable and like it's class. But then just with the tennis and whatnot, there was a few new outbreaks over here. Yeah. So I think we had like all together in Victoria, it's so mad. Like in Victoria, altogether active cases, we had like 17 the other day. So the premier came out and was like, "Yeah, we're closing everything down for 5 days, and then it's going to be announced tomorrow whether or not like we're allowed to go again." So like I think at one point, so at the moment we're doing like 25,000 cases a day. Right. Okay. Whereas like back home it's 25,000 or 25,000. Or sorry, I mean 25,000 tests today. Yeah. Whereas the likes of back home it's 25,000 cases. And we only come back with like one case maybe. But it is class. Like even now at the moment with this short lockdown, you're able to still go to the beach or whatever. Like it's a great place to live. Like I'm in Melbourne at the moment, so it's a class place to live. Just very, very cool. And you were saying I was lucky. Go on ahead there. I was lucky during lockdown. Like I had work the entire time throughout it. Like so, I got very, very lucky. Unlike a lot of other Irish that like end up having to go home. Yeah, obviously that would suck. But you said they traced it back to, was it the tennis they said it was caused by? Yeah, so there's a hotel quarantine over here. So I've seen like people were coming in, tennis players are coming in playing tennis in their room and locking in for 14 days. Yeah. So they're directing it back to that incident. Yeah, so I think what we've been told anyways, from the hotel quarantine, obviously there was cases, which is fine in the quarantine, but then whenever like the security guards and like the staff go home to their house, then like it's being outreach to there. Like not too many, it's all coming back to the hotel quarantine so far. Like there hasn't been a mystery case yet anyway. So like we've been very lucky. Like the backlog of it all is very, very good over here. Yeah, I'm telling you, you're lucky, especially because the big thing I've noticed from this lockdown here has been the difference between a summer lockdown and a winter lockdown has been absolutely fierce. Like, there's just been able to sit, even though we're not in sunny Australia, but the weather we had in that first lockdown was unrivaled for this place. Like, it was unbelievable. And the difference it has for like your mental health and just everything else in your day-to-day activities is just unbelievable. Being able to sit outside in the sun for maybe 2 hours a day instead of sitting inside in the freezing cold 2 hours a day. It's crazy. Yeah, 100%. Like I know like a good few friends back home and whatnot. Like they had to, I think, like block me on stories and whatnot because obviously I'm putting up these unreal stories and like being out in the pub or whatever. And like I was getting messages being like, "You are actually a dick. Like this is so shit." But then like we went through the same thing whenever like we were in lockdown over here. You were off for like a month or two, and you were all going out, and I was just watching everything, being like, "This is awful. This is just jealousy kicked in and whatnot." Have the government done anything crazy? Because I keep looking back. I think like over here, there's one real pivotal moment in like the whole COVID thing, and like I do think they'll look back at this in history and go, "What the clean fuck were they thinking?" The Eat Out to Help Out scheme over here. So basically, they encourage people. There's 50% off your food, and you have to go and sit in a restaurant and eat food, which I think they're going to look back at and be in the middle of a pandemic. You just told people to go out to restaurants and actually pay them to eat there. Oh, 100%. My dad owns a cafe like in Rough Island, if you know there, and like he was the same. It was eat out to help out, and he loved it obviously because it was busy as anything in there. But even in his head, he was saying, "What are they doing this for? Because it's just going to go back to the exact same way." I think everyone but them knew it was just going to affect it the exact same way. Like,
yeah, I thought it was absolutely insanity. But have they introduced anything like that over in Australia, or is it just obviously? It seems like a lot more common sense in practice.
Yeah, that was never introduced. Even like the likes of happy hour, which is a very big thing over here. Happy hour, like that wasn't really introduced until about 2 months in, because as well businesses needed to make like make their money back. So no, like happy hours were really introduced until like the last month. So no, there was nothing like that at all.
Right. Well, we'll probably cover more COVID throughout this, but one thing I want to talk about is pre-Australia life, going on these 52-week challenges and stuff like that there. Talk to me about what Paraic was like before you moved to Australia, all this travel you sort of done, what you like in your early days in school, because obviously now, for anyone that doesn't know, motivation stuff's really your game and like getting people up and about, but what were you like back then? Were you always this way?
No, I don't think so. I've always been like very happy, very outgoing, and I was always positive in myself, but it wasn't very much like, spreading positivity or whatever. I've always enjoyed like making sure people are happy and, like that sort of thing. Like I was bullied when I was younger, so I always knew that how it felt to feel like shit. So I never ever wanted anyone to feel like that.
Yeah,
even if it was something simple, I would always make like to involve people or whatever. But like the likes of school, went to St. Paul's, and I think where it all really started for me was Camp America. So I went to St. Paul's, and I was in 7th year in school, and I did shit in school because like I didn't study or anything like that there. I was the laziest lad you'll ever meet in school. I was just
join the club. Been there.
I used to go into study hall, like go down to the back with my laptop and just have the crack with people. I loved school, but I was just awful at it.
Yeah.
And I got to like March, so the week before St. Patrick's Day, and I was like called up to the vice principal's office at the time, and they were like, "Pork, listen, this isn't going well for you. We're going to kick you out." And I was like, and I just took it like I laughed and smiled and everything. So I was like, "Haha, see you tomorrow, sweet." And like went home, and I got home, and my mom was like, "Yeah, I got a phone call from Christine Fearon there, and you're kicked out of school." And I was like, they're just joking. And I was like, yeah. I was like, that's just a little thing we do. I was like, that's classic Christine. And Mom was like, no, like she seemed serious, like you're out. And I was like, we'll see about that. So anyway, the next day, got dressed in the school uniform, went to the bus, and like I was leaving, and my mom just goes, "Where are you going? You're not in school anymore." And I was like, "We'll have a talk." So I went in, went to all my classes or whatever. No one said anything to me like about being kicked out. They just went about the number. I seen Miss Fearon that day, and she just kind of goes, "Hi." And I was like, "What's the crack?" I like walked out and I was like, I knew I wasn't kicked out. I knew that was just the crack. And I went to work that night, and I worked for my dad at the time in the cafe. And then they get a phone call, and it was me that answers it. And I was like, "Hello, Chip Shop Cafe." And she's like, "Hi, how you doing? Just looking for an Owen Fearn." And I was like, I knew the voice straight. I was like, "Oh Jesus," because it was a busy night. I was like, "Dad's going to kill me." I was like, "Dad, someone on the phone for you." And straight away, I ran to the kitchen because I was scared. And it was a big long call. My dad's like trying to stick up for me or whatever. And I was like, "Listen, you know what? Let's call it quits in the school. Maybe she's right. I'll leave it." So I ended up dropping out of school in 7th year, like 2 months before all my exams.
Mid-school,
yeah.
Gee, and it was them that had enough of you.
Yeah. Like, man, I was awful at school. Like I just went in for the crack. Like
I was the same in school. Like I always said, like I left, I got my A-level results back, and I'll never forget the feeling. I just looked at them and just went, "Dear Lord." Like there was no like, I wasn't even upset. I was just like, "Oh God." Like, and it wasn't as if it wasn't smart or bright enough or anything like that. Just something at the time, school just never ever clicked for me. It just 101 things I'd rather be doing. Like I'm just probably the same crack, and I'd rather distract people. Probably gonna do well.
At the time, like I'm still at the time, like I never knew what I wanted to do in life. So I was like, there's no point in me really studying this subject because I don't know if I want to do this subject. So I don't want to waste any energy in this. Like, just silly excuses. But then I end up, obviously, so all my friends are going to university and whatnot, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to work for my dad for a year and decide within that year what I want to do. So I always knew I wanted to travel. I was always at a big travel buzz. So I applied for the Camp America at a special needs summer camp and got the job, went in June, I think, and it was the best thing I've ever done. Like, so that's why I'd always say, like, I might not have done that had I stayed home, because I probably would have been in university and whatnot and would have had the money to go.
Yeah.
But I ended up saving up and going to it. The best thing I've ever done in my life, like, just so rewarding, working with like special needs people and like learning so much about life, really. And I think really from that I just appreciated everything so much more, because I was like, this could be anyone's life right now. Like, this is amazing, like where I'm at and what I'm learning and everything. So yeah, did the Camp America, came back, and what did I do then? I think I went back to working with my dad, and like was working in a few other little places. Went back the next summer. Then I was there so I got like a mind the few months before that summer. I ended up getting this like lemon tattooed on me. Okay. So that was where like I was just like that was for positivity. So like I was always saying, like, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Shit happen, get over it. Like, to the point where I was saying that much, like, my dad for my 18th birthday bought me a box of lemons. That was my 18th birthday present, like a box of lemons. There was no like, here's a box of lemons. No, go get your real present. It was a box of lemons. That's your present. I was like,
20 quid in the card for you.
Yeah. I was like, I don't love lemons that much, man. Like, I like the emoji when I'm using Instagram. Like, that's about it. Like, I was like, where's my car here? Like, it was raging. And then, so I went back the next summer and I ended up doing the summer camp. And I think I was there for about 2 weeks and then got fired.
Right, okay.
From the same summer camp, because I was found with like a fake ID.
All right, okay.
Because I was only 20, so I went out drinking as a 20-year-old. Went to all the pubs and whatnot.
How dare you?
Got in everywhere. Like, it worked perfect. 20 quid from fakeids.co.uk.
Do you tell them 20 over in Ireland is like your passage over the hill?
He's like, all you need to be is able to reach the bar stool. I was like, what do you mean?
Or if someone can lift you up, that's all right.
They brought me in for a meeting. I was like, is this serious? I was like, Jesus, I didn't know that. I just want to have the crack, lads. But I ended up like going to a new summer camp, and it was class as well. And then just came home from that there place. I ended up like, so I got like my big traveling bug from America out of me, but then I always wanted to go to Australia. Like, that was always the main goal, always like the main thing I wanted in sights with Gary Crummy from back in Uri. Like, me and him had always said, we'll go to Australia, we'll go there. And I mind to get home from America. And I was like, I think I've done enough of that, done 2 years of the summer camp, so I think I'm ready now for a change, like Australia. So I texted him, I was like, listen, let's go, we'll do Australia. We'll meet for a grounded and we'll book it then. So I mind, like, from September till January, we met once a week for a grounded, hot chocolate and like a slice of cake or whatever. And each week we were booking Australia. Never got round to it. Like,
never got round to it.
It was just like, so what was the crack? What'd you do this week? How's the running going or whatever? Like, just shite talking. And I was working in a fruit and veg warehouse at the time, and I got a phone call in like January, and it was Gary. And I was like, well, what's the crack? Because we'd been planning for like 3 weeks. We'd been planning genuinely serious. Like, no, we'll book it because we're going this summer. And each day, like, we planned to meet. It wouldn't suit him or it wouldn't suit me to meet together. So went out. He rang me after work straight away, and he was just like, well, what's the crack? I was like, not much, just finished work there. And he was like, just to let you know, I booked Australia. You can go down if you want to Secret Travels, and you can book it if you like, but I've booked it already. You can just tag on with mine. And I was like, Jesus, this is happening. He was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, great. So I went straight down, booked it there and then, rang my dad. I think Dad was the first person I rang, and I was just like, I booked Australia, by the way. And he's like, Jesus, you're actually doing it. Like, no one really believed it because I'd been talking about it for 3 years. Yeah. They were like, oh, he's just going to stay. He's just going to stay. So, yeah, that was like life before Australia, really.
Do Jesus. Right. So, but how does it come about? You're just like, right, Australia, that's it. That's where I'm going. Because there's a lot of people that would like, have tattoos, want to build a career, like, things like that. You just were never that way inclined. It was just like, I want to go somewhere. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I don't know why it was always just Australia that we wanted to go. Because I think we, like, from back home, you definitely have a different thought of Australia. It's loads of work, loads of money, sunny all day, every day. Mm-hmm. You don't really work that much to get paid that much, and like it's just a great lifestyle. Obviously, getting over here, like you learn it is still an unbelievable lifestyle, but like the money's great, but then also the lifestyle living is great. But like I think just all that brought in together. We were like, yeah, let's go to Australia. So the two of us, and then Gary's brother Shane just went over, and it's class.
And you knew you were going to stay for the 2 years. It's 2 years, isn't it? Yeah. No, that wasn't the plan at all.
A year, I would have been like, oh, okay, a year, I'm going to be happy with that.
Yeah.
And then after about 6 months, I was like, I'll probably end up staying the second year. And then it was if then knowing about doing the farm work, because you obviously have to get your regional work over here. Mm-hmm. And went and did it with Gary. And then I was like, yeah, stay for my second year. I'm on to my second year now. So I think I've about 4 months left in the second year. And then I'm able to go on to a third year because there's like Covid visas came out over here. Okay. So if you're working in a if you're working during all of lockdown with what's the word, like in a sector where like it was needed, essential. If you're an essential worker, then you can get an extra visa for it's up from 3 to 12 months. So I'm able to get that there on.
Nice. So you should be able to hopefully get the positive side of this. You didn't lose any experience over there, basically, by being trapped indoors for a couple of months or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Class. And life in Australia, what's that like on a daily basis for you? Like, obviously, you're out at the minute doing the 52 and 52 challenge and stuff like that there. If anyone follows Padraig on Instagram, you see like just heaps and heaps of motivational stuff. I've only been come in contact with you maybe the last week or two, but even the stuff I've seen you post is like beyond motivational, and it's no bullshit. That's sort of one of the main things. I am very, very particular who I follow on social media, and see people that don't post any bullshit straight away, no bother following. So talk to me about 52 and 52, your motivation, stuff like that there. Like, first of all, what is this 52 and 52 challenge you're doing?
So the 52 and 52 it's 52 Olympic-sized triathlons in 52 weeks of 2021. So I'm doing it every Sunday.
Okay, so Olympic triathlon, because my limited knowledge of triathlons, there's sprints, isn't there?
Yeah.
So what distance does that cover?
I think a sprint is a 250 meter swim, 5 kilometer cycle maybe, and a 2 kilometer run. But I'm not 100% certain on like what all the ones are. Yeah. The one I'm doing, the Olympic one, is a 1.5 kilometer swim, a 40 kilometer cycle, and a 10 kilometer run.
So it's no joke.
No, it's one after the other, one after the other two.
Yeah.
With like very little break in between.
Right, okay. And the purpose of that for the 52, you're doing one every week.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing? It was, and the motivation, the charity side of it. So tell me a bit about that as well.
Yeah. So it all kind of came about during lockdown. Like, obviously everyone had a very, very tough lockdown. Mm-hmm. But I've always said, like, most of whatever, like when life gives you lemons. So whenever we were locked in, so I was living with a couple who were absolutely lovely, but no matter who you're living with, your head's going to go insane because you're seeing the same 4 walls every day. So from that, I kind of was like, I need to take something where I'm enjoying it. And I'd never been into running, never was a runner. I lived with Gary and Shane for a year, both who are big into running. And I could never, ever get into it. I would go for the odd like 5K with them and would be about 20 minutes behind them. Like they'd be walking back up. They've had their breakfast by the time I made it. But during lockdown, I was like, okay, there's no gyms open. There's nothing else to do. So I'm going to try this whole running thing. Got into it big time. And that's what kind of like brought me a bit of mental health reassurance. Because without that, like at least I would go home. I still had work as I was saying, but I would go home of a night, would get ready, go for my run, and would be back home by like 7 o'clock that night and be like, okay, today was a good day. I've done my work and I've also done something beneficial. So because it was helping with my mental health, and also I was seeing so many people and talking to so many people that were struggling with their mental health, especially during this lockdown. It kind of terrified the shit out of me, because I was like, there's going to be an onslaught from this. Like, it's not going to just be known now. In the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, it's going to be like suicides increase. Like, well, it's hard to say, but like,
this is the reality situation.
Going to see depression increase. Yeah. We're going to probably see depression increase and whatnot. So I thought now more than ever, it's extremely important to like show, that highlight a mental health charity. So I like started researching loads of mental health charities and whatnot, and I wanted to do something that they working back home, because that's where I come from. That's just my goal. And I came across about 5 that were really, really good, that were like non-profit charities, and just the work they did was brilliant. So I rang each of them, and then I got onto a charity called Mind, which is in the UK. And just even the way, like, do you ever speak to someone on the phone and instantly know these are good people? Talk them straight away, and the way they answered the phone, the way they talked to me, the way they talked about mental health, everything. When I told them what I was planning on doing, the way they just discussed it with me was amazing. Like, so my big goal was to raise money for mental health, and not even so much money. More was just to raise awareness. It would be brilliant. It'd be brilliant to raise money, but my thing has always been, I want to raise awareness on mental health. That mental health isn't going to disappear. It's not. No matter how much money there is in the world, it's not going to disappear. It's an illness. It's the likes of cancer. There's heaps of money thrown into cancer, and it's going to be there. But the more research that's put into it, and the more awareness there is, then the better chance you have of surviving. So that's what my thought is with mental health. The more awareness there is, so like, let's say me and you go out to a pub tonight, just even you knowing that it's okay to come to me and be like, not feeling great today, actually, like, feeling pretty shitty, this happened here, and we would have even a 10-minute chat conversation, and then you can leave being like, I feel better, I got that off my chest. So to normalize it, basically.
I feel like there's a lot of people that just aren't conscious enough, and I can't speak on behalf of women, but I definitely know when young men, especially, like, maybe you're just not conscious of your mental health. A lot of people aren't aware that it's there, and it's something that needs to be cared for and looked after and developed and things like that there. And even there's times where you don't realize you're doing good. Like, I may not think, oh, come on, we'll go to the pub tonight and I'll sort out my mental health. Just those things on their own are helping you to look after mental health, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, and then talk to me more about like the demands of this challenge that you're doing. So, like, obviously, how is it like impacting you? How tough you finding it? Like, talk me through that process then.
So the first one, I'll be honest, was horrendous. It was not fun. Didn't enjoy a bit of it, but I hadn't trained enough for it. Like, I had been doing very good training, and then, as I say, the pubs reopened in November, so it kind of went downhill like that. So I was on like a beer and kebab diet for about 2 months, like 2 months straight. And I might have got to like Christmas Day, and I was working behind the bar on Christmas Day, and it was absolutely steaming. Like, to the point where I had to be sent home early from a shift. I was meant to finish at 12 o'clock, and at 10:30 my manager came over and was like, you need to head home. And I was like, what? And he was like, you don't need to go home, but just at least go to that side of the bar, clock out, like you're done. And I was like, no problem. And I woke up the next day and I was like, I have a triathlon in a week. Like, people train for like months to do one of these. I was like, I need to pull my socks up. So the first one was very, very tough. Like, I finished it and January thought I was about to pass out, and I was done. But as the weeks have went on, they have been getting, I wouldn't say easier, but more routine. So to the point where I'll wake up and be like, okay, yeah, triathlon, like I have plans for later on the day, so need to get it done over early with. And like, I'm seeing that like times slowly but surely increasing or decreasing. So like, I'm getting quicker at each aspect. This past week, it was the quickest swim I've done yet, and the second quickest run I've done yet. The cycle took me quite a lot longer because I had to do the same route, because we had to stay in our 5K zone. I had to basically do the same route for 8 times. So I ended up like falling off the bike and all that there, just because of your lack of concentration. You just it's like, I'm a bit bored of this now. But they are getting more enjoyable. Like, and I have a good system over here where, like, on a Monday, I'll go into work. So I work in a school. I'll go into school on the Monday, and then I come home with no plans. So I'll go and get a massage on a Monday, and then I'll also maybe have like physiotherapy as well. So it's a nice little to recover the body. It's a good routine.
Nice routine. And what sort of a fitness experience did you have before? So I know you said like you sort of went off the boil, but what sort of training, what sort of sports were you in before all this? Like what were you doing?
The second year I went to America, that's when I started like going to the gym. That was like the first ever real time I went to the gym. I'd never really been big into sports because when I was younger, I had like a bad injury. I had a bad leg. I was born with a bad leg, so I was in like a wheelchair like from 9 to 12. So I had a pretty bad injury to the point where like it kind of made me dislike sport because I was jealous. I like my brother was very, very good at Gaelic, so I kind of look at him like I just want to do that. So I kind of went off sport for ages. But then I did the gym. So all my real thing was the gym. But even then, it wasn't to like a high point, just to the point where like I would go the all day and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then I came over here and started doing wrestling, and wrestling was my only real sport. So, yeah.
Olympic style wrestling, was it?
No, like WWE.
WWE wrestling.
Yeah.
How did you get into that? Is it clubs?
I've been obsessed with WWE since I was about 6 years old. Like absolutely obsessed with it. I've always said I want to do that someday. I want to do that. And I went to a few months before I came over here. I went to Dublin because I found out there was a wrestling school. I was like, I want to go down and do that, and did it. And like I think I did like 3 times in Dublin, and was just so out of shape. Like I wasn't out of shape, just that style. I was very out of shape. Like the cardio wise, I just could not do it. Then I came over here, and because I was in much better like physical shape, then I was like, I really, really want to try this again. And found where was it? I was talking to someone in a bar, and they were like, I was telling them about it, and they were like, oh, my friend actually is a coach there. Like he's a wrestling coach. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, I'll say or his Facebook. So I texted him, I was like, I'd love to come by. Had a trial, and the trial was basically just hurting yourself a lot.
Yeah.
It was just so much pain. It was a horrible, horrible trial. And afterwards he was like, yeah, we can come by, we can do this. So just got into it that way.
So
what is that? I tell that's insane.
What does a training camp in wrestling look like? Just pretend to hit boys, pretend to fall over. Like what's that?
See, there's no pretending, man.
Are you worried this isn't real?
Man, this is real. This is fully real. This is like UFC style.
Only nobody gets hit.
I might no. So if you don't move your neck right, you do get hit. So I mind the first punch I ever took, I didn't know he'd move your head. I just stood there. And he punched me, and I probably was like, holy shit, fell back, was near knocked out, and I was like, what happened there? He's like, you didn't move your neck. And I was like, no one told me to move my neck. And I was like, yeah.
So you are getting slapped up, basically. You have to just know you need to learn how to take it, basically.
But more on like your neck. So we do a lot of like neck training. Like before we step in the ring, it's just training your neck, basically doing like neck bridges for 3 minutes before each session. You have to train your neck. And
like the outcomes and stuff, do you predetermine outcomes before you go in there? Big secret of the WWE world.
She's like, I can't be telling you that. No, I personally don't. But like, so I've never had a match yet, but the likes of whoever's booking it, they'll predetermine it.
Yeah. So would you not be gutted? Like, imagine, you're going up scrapping, like, right, Sean's gonna, fucking put you up one finger, spin you around, and throw you down. You're gonna be out. You'd be like, what the bullshit? Like,
oh, you'd be heartbroken. Like, no, I've been training my life for this. Is he Jack taking me on? I'm super kicking him right in the nose.
Your years of training dedication just to be fucking KO'd by some boy like half the size, because it looks good for the script. I'm actually fascinated by this wrestling. Tell me more about wrestling. Who just sort of like, what sort of wrestlers do you favor? Like, who you still watch it and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. Every single week, man.
Who's your number one guy or girl
of all time? Of all time, probably I love Rey Mysterio. He is class. Yeah. I think his matches are just so, like, during lockdown, we started doing like a lot of online classes for the wrestling. So we would just watch matches and break them down into detail. and just Rey Mysterio, just some of the way he would move, and he's a little guy as well, but he made himself absolutely massive in that there sport, where it was believable if he went up against a 6'6" guy. Like if he went up against The Rock, it was still believable because he was so quick, and it's just his character and the way he would get like emotion across even while wearing a mask. I just think this is insane. Current guys, I love Daniel Bryan. Met him in New York once, and like pure fangirl, like completely fangirl. Like I was with this group, and one of the girls that was with me was like, "Oh my god, that's the Bella Twins," and I was like, "What?" She was like, "The Bella Twins. They have a TV show on whatever it's called, Total Bass." I was like, "No." I was like, "That's the Bella Twins. That they're wrestlers." And she was like, "Oh, are they?" I was like, "Forget about the Bella Twins." I was like, "That's Daniel Bryan. That's a husband." And I was like, "That's Daniel Bryan." I was like, "Oh my god!" And I'm standing in the middle of New York, like screaming to myself in my own head. And I was like, "I'm going to do it. I need to run up to him. Sprinted as fast as I could. Completely ignored these two twins who are the bigger celebrity. Like they have their own TV show. They're a massive celebrity. Completely ignored them. I just went straight to him. I was like, you're good at the grappling. You're good at the stuff, man." And he's like, "Thanks very much." I was like, "Can I get a photo about it?" And he's like, "Of course, man." And he was like the nicest man I've ever met. Like completely ignored the twins too. I was just like,
correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure them Bella Twins would be quite attractive now.
Beautiful.
Just beeline past the gorgeous twins.
I didn't even notice them. I was, oh my god.
To the humongous man, I love you. And
literally, that made my summer. Like,
meeting celebrities is a weird thing. I remember, like, this does not compare to the heights of who you met, but I used to work in Subway at the time, and I don't think I've told this story in the podcast. And I met what age was I? I think I was 16 at the time, and none other than Mr. Gals from Geordie Shore walked into Subway, and this is fucking peak Gals Geordie Shore, and I was like, oh my god. And the girl working beside me was 17, and she I was a mess, but she just crumbled, and there's no one else in the shop. And he came in and he's like, "Can I have a foot long?" What was he on again? Yeah, he's like, "Can I have a foot long with meatballs?" And the girl beside me just goes, "Of course." Like, does everyone had crumbled. I made a sandwich, was shaking, like the lettuce was just going everywhere. Like I didn't know what to do. And then she got to the till, and you have to join a card machine, you have to type in the number. It was like £5 or something like that there. She charged him 5p, and she's like, "Don't worry, I'll get the rest." And all. She's like, just completely crumbled. But meeting celebrities is the maddest experience of your life. You just,
it's so strange.
There's nothing like it in the world. Like, you can't just, the nerves you get, sitting exams, doing a driving test, nothing compares to meeting a celebrity, even if you're not that big a fan of them. Just,
you don't have to be a big fan at all. Like you can we seen that same summer, we seen Alessandro Nesta, used to play for AC Milan.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. But I'm not an AC Milan fan. I wouldn't recognize him if he was walking down the street. And one of the lads was like, Alessandro Nesta manages this. We went to see a match. He's like, "Nesta manages this football team." So we went out the back. We're like, "Oh, can we meet him and all?" He's the coolest guy ever. He was smoking a cigarette, and we were like, "Can we have a photo or whatever?" He's like, put the cigarette behind his back, posed, just posed, didn't say a word. And walked on, and I was like, "That was class." I was like, "I don't even know who that guy is, but that was unreal." That is amazing.
Baller. Is he Italian? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Italian baller just coming down the street.
Yeah. Class.
And then I can't get off this wrestling thing. What sort of character have you envisioned? I presume you're looking at this wee bit, you have to develop your character and things like that. What sort of ideas you come up with, even sharing?
So I haven't told my coach this yet, and if he's watching this, Carlo, enjoy. Because I've had a lot of ideas. Originally, I wanted my name to be Vitamin P, because I thought that was class. I used to have a cocktail in ginger jeans called Vitamin P, and I was like, this is where I'm going to go with my life. I'm going to be Vitamin P. I could just see it. And then I came over here, and he was like, "No, I like your name. Maybe not your first name because it's a bit hard to understand, but I love your second name, Fearon. Maybe just go with that. Fearon, that's a cool name." And I was like, "I don't know that. It's
no Vitamin P.
Boring. It's a bit boring, isn't it?" And then during the past few weeks, all I've been eating for these triathlons is meat. That's all I eat is meat now. I'll have about 2 steaks a day. I'll have 2 chicken fillets, can of tuna, some kangaroo meatballs. That's all I eat now. Like, no carbs or anything. It's all this
just meat.
And what I brought it into work one day, and there was with 3 lunch boxes of just steak, and they were like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Oh, sure, here I'm the meat castle, aren't I?" And as soon as I said that, I was like, "There's something in that." I was like, "I'm the meat castle." I was like, "That is my new character." Just like walking out to the ring, like eating steaks, just being like, the meat castle. And that was just straight away. I was like, this is who I am.
Just juiced up on steroids out of your mind.
Yeah.
The meat castle.
I was like, I just need to come to the ring with a plate of steak and like mid-match eat some steak. I was like, that's my character. That's what I want now.
Finishing move, salt and pepper mop or something like that before you.
Finishing move, a frog splash from the top rope called the beefcake.
I wish there's more people like that. I wish there's more people try these adventurous sports over here, because over in Ireland, obviously, it's only all everyone does over here is your girl, Irish dancing, boy, Gaelic football, hurling. That's right. That's the height of it, unless you break out. And who's the Irish wrestler? Sheamus, is it? The big ginger fella?
There's Sheamus, Finn Balor, and Becky Lynch. Like the three main Irish ones.
Yeah. Oh god, that is actually that is amazing. Absolutely.
That's made your day, man.
That actually has. Who knew the world of wrestling, the amateur world of wrestling, could be so amazing. Oh, just the possibilities of just anything. Be whoever you want.
Oh man, it's brilliant.
What about The Rock? Something that I was listening to the other day about The Rock is obviously like the things he went to achieve from wrestling was like unbelievable. But do you think The Rock will ever stop selling things? Look at his Instagram. Like, the man is just a world-class selling machine. He's unbelievable.
Oh, 100%. He's unreal. Like, he is class. And like, no matter what he sells, you'll buy it.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
Like, oh yeah, these are dogs.
He'll like put up some like emotional, heartwarming story about his daughter, and then at the end he'd be like, "And I cheers this with my Tramina tequila." just one. Give me one post on Instagram. It's not sponsored, but how can the absolute he's the goat of goats.
Oh, unreal.
So I want to sort of touch back into motivation stuff again, because like obviously it's a big part of who you are and what you do, and like talking to cameras and Instagram. As someone that comes from Ireland, and I sort of tried dabbling this, and it's not easy to do. I've tried to go down the motivational route, and it's hard to do without leading an example, I'll say, because whenever I try to do it, you're putting out advice and you're giving people like these like, oh, here's what you do, blah blah blah. I'm like, why would you listen to me? Who am I to be motivational? You need to sort of set the standard. I think that's something you do really well with the 52-week challenge and like your fitness and stuff like that. But what is the motivating factor for you? Because like there's one thing I see online, and it's starting to get my nerves, is a big thing that I see online coaches and PTs doing, saying accountability, and how you need to achieve accountability. And a big thing that they promote is you need accountability, and I can give you accountability. And for £50, £100, whatever they're charging, they can give you accountability. But obviously, you seem to have achieved that without having to pay or other things like that. What is it for you that keeps you, accountable and wanting to do these things week on week?
So I think definitely putting that up on like the likes of Instagram. I mind the first. So I do this thing on Instagram, for anyone who doesn't know. It's called like Make It a Win Wednesday, where I'll just put up a video on Instagram, and it'll last like about 4 videos, so about 40 seconds of me just trying to motivate people. It started off with me just saying, have a good day, and if you're not okay, reach out to me, talk to me, and have a great time. And basically telling everyone you're beautiful, because I was like, that's a nice way for someone to start their day if they're just scrolling through Instagram instead of just watching absolute tripe. To come across this and be like, okay, I actually needed that. So for me, that was a big one of me putting that up there. I was like, this is kind of keeping me accountable, because if I have this, because like I think what a lot of people don't know is there is days where I feel like absolute shit, 100%. Like there's days where I feel like the lowest lows, and I reach out to people or whatever, or like I will speak about it on Instagram. I'll be like, yeah, you know what, today wasn't a great day, or yeah, this week I struggled. Like last week I had my scooter stolen, so I drive like a little Vespa over here, and it was stolen, and that was a bit shit. And I put that up there. I was like, oh, Vespa was stolen. But like, people are writing, being like, oh, I hope you're okay, blah blah, shit like that. But I think a big thing of it is just like I'm accountable because I put it up there. It's online. Everyone can see it. So, and if I'm talking about, oh, you don't have to be positive. I've never say you have to be positive. You have to at least look back at your week. Like take at least 10 minutes on a Sunday night or a Monday morning and just think back, being like, okay, reflect. How was that week? So I think even just doing that no matter who you are, that'll help your head. So I think putting it up on Instagram made me have to take the time to reflect.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'd be like, okay, how was that week? I'm about to speak, what actually was that week then? And then I would think about it. And let's say there were 6 negatives. There's always going to be 20. No matter what, because a positive can be, a positive is I woke up this morning. That's a positive.
Yeah.
You've had a good day if you woke up, because there's someone else that didn't wake up today. Someone else's mother, daughter, whatever, did not wake up. You've woke up. You've had a great day. And like one of my buddies said to me one time, one of my friends, Kyle, he said, "There's no such thing as a bad day. Only good days with bad moments." And that was one thing that has always stuck with me. Even when I have like a bad day, and I was like, okay, it wasn't a bad day. It was a lot of bad moments. What was the good parts in that? So I'll try and think about the good parts. And I don't do it anymore so much, but I probably should get back to it. But I used to do this thing where I'd wake up every morning and I would do a reflection. So I'd write down 3 things. So just with a cup of tea in the morning time, like before work or whatever, I would drink a cup of tea and write down 3 things I was grateful for. So it would just be like silly, simple things. Like they don't have to be extravagant. You don't have to be grateful for, you got a new car today, or like simple, silly things like that. Like I'm grateful for last night. I watched a TV show with my buddy, and it was a really fun thing to do. And like that's what I did last night. I watched stupid TV. I watched like the equivalent of Total Wipeout over here with my friend Andy, and it was class. A great night. Just doing something silly like that there. Today I went for a walk along the beach. That was class. Like silly, just not silly, but like little things like that, because little things make big. So that's kind of like where I've always just been. You got to reflect. I think and then I hang around with like a lot of friends that they help me stay accountable too. Like my network around me is unbelievable, because whenever I'm up here, I do have mates to just bring me back down to earth. Like, you know yourself what lads are like, especially in a group chat. Like each Wednesday, the lads will text me and be like, "Fuck off with that shite, will you?"
Trust me, I know.
What do you mean you're making it a win? Fuck off, dickhead. Like they'll say like what I haven't done this week, like 10K run, you should be doing 12.
Yeah.
Fuck off, will you? Or like silly things like that there. And each time I read them, I'm like, yeah, fair. So definitely who I like surround myself with 100%. Like, like my brother, like is one of my best mates, and he keeps me very, very positive. Like just through talking, like family, I'm very, very close to my family. They'll keep me positive and they'll keep me accountable all the time. Definitely.
It seems like what you're getting at here is, it may not even be motivation, because a lot of people are asking like how do you stay so motivated and stuff. It just seems more like an appreciation for life. If that's fair.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, as cheesy as this is going to sound, as corny as it's going to sound, life's a beautiful thing. Life is unreal. Yeah. And you got to sometimes wake up, look outside your window, and just go, "This is class. I'm allowed to be a part of this. Like, this is unbelievable. Today could be my last day. I could go into bed right now and not wake up tomorrow. So I want to enjoy my last day."
Yeah. And that aspect of like, there's always somebody else. Sorry, there's always somebody else below you. Like, I'm sure there's lots of people sitting here being like, "Look at him living in Australia. That's amazing." But there's someone sitting in, I don't know where, Africa with nothing, looking at someone in army, like, "Look, they've got everything." Yeah. There's always somebody else.
Like, I think treat each day like it's your last, but definitely prepare for a tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
like that.
Enjoy it while it's here, because you hear too many shit stories and too much negativity spread across, especially on social media is an amazing thing, but it's also one of the worst things. And it goes hand in hand. Like, it's hot, like a lot of people bullying and all that there. Like, so just enjoy it. Be nice to be. It's easy to be nice. It's nice to be nice. So enjoy it. Enjoy life, and just take it for what it is.
I like that. Just positivity in general, and just a good outlook on life, I suppose.
Yeah.
Where else does that leave me to? So I actually wanted to ask you more about the whole like life gives you lemons while we're on this topic. So obviously it's like a thing you've tattooed on your skin, you know, you've like embraced it through all your Instagram posts, but like where did it all originally come from? Like why life gives you lemons? There's so many sayings out there, you see so much crap out there. Like what sort of brought you to that?
I honestly haven't a clue where that all began from. I just remember I used to say it all the time, and I used to like every Instagram I would put an emoji. Mm-hmm. So like I went back because someone did ask me this like a few weeks ago, like when did that begin? So I went back onto my Instagram to see like where the emoji started, and it was when I was in like 7th year in school, and I was in Romania. So then I remember thinking, okay, what did I do in Romania? I went like with the school with about 20 other people, and we were working in orphanages. And it was orphanages and like care homes and whatnot, like just for a week, helping them out and seeing their stories and bringing them presents and trying to like cheer them up. So I can't say it for definite, but I'm pretty sure it just came from that, where I was like, geez, this is amazing. Like, and there must have been a lemon or something there. I was like, you know what, lads, let's make a bit of lemonade here. Like, you know, yeah. It's shit weather outside and it doesn't smell the best in here, but like let's make the most of this. Like, yeah. But then since I can remember, it was always just a thing.
And then speaking about like speaking about social media and stuff like that as well, like do you ever get worried or like did you ever occur like even back then like, oh, people are going to think this is cheesy, or like worry what people think about it, or did that ever come across your mind?
Oh, 100%. Like, yeah, definitely. Like I still get the odd bit of abuse every week, but like nice abuse, I guess, like where people are just trying to bring you down to earth. But yeah, definitely. Like at the start when I like put it up, I didn't really think about it because I was just like, the reason I did the first, like, it was before I did like a Make It a Win Wednesday. I did a video being like, everyone have a good time. Like, you know, have a great day. Fucking just enjoy life. It's a beautiful life. Was because Liverpool won a match. I can't remember what match they won. I think they had just won like the league title, but like they hadn't lifted it yet, but they had won enough points to win it. And I was like, have a great time, everyone. This is a great day or whatever. Like, oh, what a life we live in. This is amazing, because that's just how I felt. Yeah, I was cycling to work when the match was like called finalist, and I was like, what a class time we're living in. Unreal. Enjoy it. Go out today. Get in the pints. Just enjoy life. Brilliant. And I started doing it more often, and I was like, Jesus, I am looking like a bit of a gobshite here, because my dad wrote to me. My dad doesn't have Instagram, but like one of my cousins, I think, showed it to him, being like, oh, Paric's doing a good job in the Instagram. And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, oh, do you not see his videos? And I showed my dad a video. My dad rang me. He's like, what are you doing on that fucking Instagram? I was like, I don't know. Just putting videos up. He's like, you're a fucking gobshite. Why are you only making Wednesday with? What about the other days? And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, well, you're a bit of a gobshite. Like, you know, fucking just cycle to work like every other normal person. Like, what the fuck are you at? I don't know. Like, my dad's my biggest critic. Like, he's my best friend, but also my biggest critic. Like, it's impossible to please him.
Just sounds like the Irish dads. Like, I remember whenever I started writing blogs and stuff like a year ago, like my dad came into me and like was real serious. He was like, is this your way of telling us you're gay? I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, what? Where does this come from? Do that Irish dad thing. Like when you're younger, you'd go outside and like, I don't know, you'd skip. Goes, what's wrong with you, gay? Like, yeah. It's just like I just want to try and motivate people. Dad goes, all right, that's all right then.
I think that's the worst one too, isn't it? Just that look.
Yes,
because you know there's 1,000 things going in their head. That's
yeah. He's just sitting there, like, you know what my father would have done if he seen me do that.
Yeah.
Look at the camera.
Fucking, I used to walk 2 miles to school and I had no shoes.
Yeah, but no heating back in them days either. Not that you bastards need it down in Australia.
No chance, man. Sure, look at the tan, man.
Yeah, sitting there in a vest. I'm sitting here. What time is it here? 11 o'clock. Wrapped up, sitting in my room.
I only put this vest on for a bit of professionalism. If it wasn't for this is off.
This is your big moment. This doesn't get any bigger than this.
This is the big one, man. I've made it the big time, so I have.
Should disclaim it. We're going to fly you over, but COVID regulations and stuff, flights can't get you in.
I know. Disaster. I'm going to have the entire family joined by at the living room on Sunday night whenever this is airing, being like, get the popcorn and everything. Jesus, look at that gobshite on TV.
Right, I think we'll start to wind it down and stuff like that there, because I think we've covered a lot of the good stuff. I have some questions and stuff that
yeah, of course,
fans from across the world have been sending in. Let's see here, we've got a couple of ones. So like a lot of it's just, some of it's just like praise you, like, oh my god, he's so funny, how does he stay so positive and motivated and carefree? I've covered all that. Someone wants to know like how's your like physical condition changed since training, like how's your body changed, like what's up and like.
So I've lost, since the 1st of January, I have lost, I think, 5.5 kilos of weight. Jeez, but I've also I've toned up quite a lot, but then I started going, so I've kind of like made a big change in January where I stayed off the drink. I've had one weekend where I drank so far, but stayed off the drink. I joined a football team, like Gaelic team over here. So I train twice a week with them. I try to do wrestling once a week. Obviously the triathlons, and then I'll go to the gym maybe 4 to 5 times a week. More four. So I'm feeling a lot better, a lot like fitter. The thing I've noticed the most difference in is my face. Like this, like my skin isn't as spotty. It's feeling healthier. My eyes just feel fresher, and like it's a bit less chubby, I guess.
Yeah.
So the big difference I've noticed is the face. But so far so good. And as I said earlier on, like I have a physio over here where I go to every Monday night, and what's it called? He has a thing over here. Remedial, yeah, is that right? Remedial massage therapist as well, where like he just like takes out your knots basically and whatnot. So he's brilliant as well. So body's so far holding up pretty well.
Good stuff. And obviously something you need to look after if you're going to be rattling out triathlon every single week. Like
definitely.
I presume this is your brother. 1CF1 on Instagram. Who's your biggest inspiration? Is it your brother?
Jesus, my sister. My sister, big inspiration. No, that's a good question. All my family, like all of them. I couldn't choose one. Like they're all incredible. Like each of them. Well, I have a different relationship with each of them to the point like where they are incredible. Helped me through everything. All my mates like knows me very well and like knows I'm very, very close to my friends. So any of them, but definitely family. Cahill, in fairness, has helped me through absolutely everything. Like times when I was struggling with my own mental health, he helped me big time. And there has been a lot of times where I've genuinely came to him like, I'm struggling right now. I'm feeling a very low.
Yeah.
Like, and he's helped me 100%. Like, so Cahill, you're in the top 4.
You've made it to the Champions League. You qualified.
Oh, in the knockout stages.
What are your best tips? So if you were to give one tip for weight loss motivation, what would be your number one tip for motivation for weight loss?
Probably find a good trainer.
Yeah.
Like, I know when I wanted to lose like I know I joked about accountability earlier, but it is on like, I know at the end of the day, you're going to be the one that needs to decide on accountability. You need to be your own influencer. You need to be accountable on yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you're paying. Like you can pay big bucks to whoever. Like in the past, I know I've paid big money to a trainer and I did fuck all. Like it's completely on me, not the trainer. It was on me just because I wasn't in the place at the time. I wasn't motivated and it wasn't their fault. So it's always going to have to be you. But just starting like with small changes, like the likes of diet. Before I ever went to a trainer, I didn't know milk was bad. It's not bad, but I used to drink about 2 to 3 liters of milk every single day.
Right, okay.
I thought that was very good for you. I was like, I'm going to have the strongest bones. I'm going to be brilliant. And then the first day I sat down with the trainer, they're like, what's your diet? So I told them. And they're like, you wrote 3 liters of milk here. Do you mean 3 glasses? And I was like, no, 3 liters and then like whatever, having cups of tea. I have about 10 cups of tea a day as well. And they're like, nah, you need to stop that right now. Like 1 glass a day is even a bit much. And I was like, what the? Like, I wasn't educated. So like, I didn't know anything.
You didn't know any better.
Probably finding a good coach because they're educated. That's their job. It's like, it's like anything. Like if you have a broken arm, you'll go to a doctor. If, your teeth are fucked, you go to a dentist. Like, if you want to lose weight, you go to a coach. Like, you just got to.
Yeah, I think I'm going to jump in on that point because get a good coach and also go to a coach when you're ready to start working hard. Don't go to a coach when you just want to lose weight because I think that's a big point people trip up on. Go to coach and you're sitting there and you know, right, I can dedicate 3 days, 4 hours a week, whatever it is to this. Don't get to the stage you're like, I'm going to go to a coach and it's all just magically going to disappear, because as you said before, you've went to coaches and it hasn't worked. You need it. I think a mentality thing is a big thing with coaches as well. So
100%.
Get on that, Buzz. This is from his words, not mine, from your best bud, Kyle. Why do you have a fear of the Lazy song by Bruno Mars?
It's been that long since I disliked the Lazy song. I kind of forget the story, actually. The reason. Oh, okay. No, I'll be honest actually here. No, I don't remember. So when I was younger, about what age are you in first year school? Like 12?
13 maybe, yeah.
13, right. When I was 13, oh geez, I haven't, there's about 2 people that know this story, and it's Kyle and my brother. When I was about 13, I thought I was going to be a celebrity. So I created a YouTube channel. And I've had 2 videos up there. One was introducing myself and what I was going to do each week. I was like, I'm going to do this every week. So I am, I'm going to do sketches and videos, because at the time I was I loved YouTube. So I was like, I'm going to do all these videos every week. Went out, bought loads of costumes and like different things. I had like ideas and whatnot. I was like, I'm going to do this. And the first video, the next video I put up was a song I was singing, which was Lazy Song. And like, I'm there just like, I can't sing, by the way. So like I'm not like one of those like good singers where it's like, oh, I can't sing. Like, I can't sing. Yeah. I'm an awful singer. Like, so I'm there going, today I don't, like, awful. My brother comes walking in, he's dancing away, and I posted it on YouTube. And I remember being so confident about it. I was like, yeah, this is brilliant. Sending it to everyone in my year group over Facebook. I was like, yeah, can you like and share this? Can you watch it, please? The amount of, I think it took me 5 years to recover from that. 5 years, I think. I got to the 5th year till I was like, okay, I can talk to people again here. So every time that song comes on, I just get anxiety. I'm just like, oh,
this is meant to be. This was your big break. Like, everyone like and share this. This is going to be. Someone get this to Simon Cowell word.
It was.
And then we have another one. So we sort of touched on this, but what's life like down underneath compared to home? Direct comparison, more so.
Brilliant. So my job over here is I work in a special needs school. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've been able, like, with no training, sounds bad, but with no training or anything, no real qualifications. Whereas I don't think I'd be able to do that back home. I think there's a lot more opportunities over here, mm-hmm. like for jobs wise. Like, even now, I can go on. So I'm thinking about studying to become a teacher. Mm-hmm. I can do that by passing like one module. Whereas back home, you need to finish school, and then if you want to become a teacher, you need to do a lot more. Mm-hmm. So over here, I think there's more opportunities and whatnot. There's just obviously the weather's better. Well, sometimes not in Melbourne, but the weather is better. And like, I think there is a massive wild drinking culture over here as well. But mm-hmm. that's because I live in St Kilda, where it's all Irish people. Yeah. So like, it's Ireland is over here basically. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the biggest one for me. Like, there's more opportunities.
So opportunities in terms of like they're willing to give people a chance, that sort of idea. Is that what you're getting at?
I think so. Like I've been working in that school for about, despite the farm, for about a year now, just over a year actually. I don't think that's something I'd be able to do back home without any experience, without any like real finished education. I don't reckon I'd be able to do that. So yeah. And like, I've seen like a few friends that have gotten like, big opportunities to like progress in the workforce. Mm-hmm. Where like at home that might be, but I could be wrong, because like at home again, I worked for my dad. I worked for like I worked for Ginger Jane's in the pub and fruit and veg warehouse. Mm-hmm. So I could be wrong, because I never actually tried to become like work in a school back home. But for me, that's it.
Yeah. On the farm, someone wants to know, would love to go to Australia, but farming has me scared. What's it like?
So yeah, you hear a lot of terrifying like people that just have horror stories from the farm. Mm-hmm. Myself and Gary could not have asked for any better farm. We got so lucky. Just our entire setup. So we lived on a farm with a family, the family who owned it, and so it was the husband, the wife, and their 4 kids. So like a 15-year-old, 14-year-old, 10-year-old, and 8-year-old, and like we were a part of their family. Like me and Gary were her like sons basically. Like she would come over. I mind when I first arrived there, I had no money. Like I had nothing to my name. So like we all went to the shop, and they're all buying like their week's groceries, and I was kind of just standing there going, nice. I'll be able to. I'll be okay for it. I'll be okay for a week. Once I get my first pay, I'll be good to go. And the boss, her name was Liv. She goes, "Why are you not eating?" I was like, "Not that hungry. Don't really like food that much." And she was like, "What?" She's like, "What?" And I was like, I'm all good. I have biscuits at the house, so it's all okay." She came back that night. She brought over like a massive plate of like sausages, chicken, just a load of food, and was like, "Yep, this is yours." And I was like, "Geez," I was like, "That's a lot today." And she was like, "Yeah, listen, it's yours. You're a family now." So we got very, very lucky to the point like it was sad leaving the place.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Like I thoroughly loved my farm. So like whoever that was, if they are coming over to Australia, to just message me and I'll get on to Liv because she loves the Irish people. Yeah. So get on and I'll message her. And if you do want that farm work, you can. She'd be 100% having you.
The dream farm life, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Somebody wants to know here, what has been your favorite fancy dress costume you've performed throughout the years?
Anchorman, 100%.
Ron Burgundy. Oh, class.
Yeah, 100%.
Is that on your Instagram?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there'll probably be a photo of that fired up here, Jaron. I'll go digging for that as well.
That's on my Instagram way back. It's 100% my favorite. Love it.
And then we've had a lot of women requesting if you're single or not. And I mean a lot. A couple of fellas.
I am very single.
So if you can get yourself a one-way ticket to Australia, Paraic will look after is a setup and all there for you.
I'm telling you, you just want that bed. Look at that, a freshly made bed and everything. What man does that? Look at that made bed. Look at how clean this room is.
That's a man that's got his life together.
That's candles, lads. I'm telling you, this is smart, man.
If you're a man at the 21st century that's not lighting a candle, I'm telling you, you're doing it wrong.
Go home. Just go home.
There's another one. My dad came in first time he seen. He goes, "What are you lighting candles for? You get?" Like, have you smelled in here? It's awful. I share a room with my brother. It's like, fucking no. This is for the good of society. And then final one. We'll end on this one. Is someone wants to know what has been your favorite hairstyle from throughout the years as well.
I love bald. I love just being bald because you get out of the shower. There's nothing. The only negative is, so I recently cut the mullet off.
Yeah.
And I forgot that like you need to actually put sunscreen on your neck. You usually have a mullet covering it. Mm-hmm. Burnt the shit out of my neck. No. But I'll go bald. Enjoyed the mohawk as well. It got a lot of looks. The braids, that was fun. Blonde, not so much. The luscious locks, the first year I had them, they were nice. But bald, I'll go bald.
What does it make you go for them? Why the crazy hairstyle? What about it?
Blonde one, I lost a bet, a FIFA bet, so I had to go blonde. Long hair, I did that because I wanted to donate it to the Kids with Cancer charity.
Very good.
I don't like having long hair, but I wanted to donate it where I could. The mohawk, drunk. Came home, there was a razor there. I was like, this is gonna look cool as fuck. Did not look cool as fuck at all. The braids, drunk, did that. Most of them have been me being drunk, being like, this will be class. This is going to be unreal. I am going to get so much women. And then I go out the next day and I'm like, I am not going to get any women. This is great. So I'm trying this hairstyle out now, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction, I think.
I think it's a normal one, I thought.
Yeah, tone it back a wee bit. So if you're ever having any drunk thoughts of getting your haircut, our advice is go for it.
Yeah, 100%.
100% go for it.
You'll enjoy it.
Shave it off. You get good laughs out of it. But I think that's everything. Anything you want to close with, or anything else you want to get off your chest? I think we've had a good rant at it.
No, if you if you are interested in the triathlon and donating money to Mind, it's all on my Instagram and on my Facebook. I post updates every single Sunday of proof of me actually doing the triathlon distances. If you want to give me a follow because you might enjoy it. If you want to give me an unfollow because you don't enjoy it, that's all good. But yeah, just enjoy life. Take it for what it is. It's unbelievable. Make it a win. Stay beautiful. Stay golden. And I love you. That's all I have to say.
I don't think I could sum it up any better than that. Thanks everybody so much for listening. Make it a win as well from me. And I'll see you again in the next one, Park. Thank you very much. It's been a blast. Cheers.